We are back. Welcome everybody to our Survivor 42 draft and cast assessment coming off of our Survivor 41 draft. I forgot to change my name again. Let me do that real quick.
To the draft master, because that's what Nick is, everyone. Nick's the undefeated draft master.
Well, one season. It's not like he's won.
I won't change my name. I did it for BB again already. I did win the one draft.
He's 1-0. Perfect score.
Good for you,
I guess, how are you all feeling overall about the cast?
You know, I kind of agree with what we were saying roughly before we started recording. Is that like, I don't know, like half the cast seems like they could be really cool characters, and then half the cast I don't know what to think of at all. So that's my polite way of saying it, I guess.
That is a polite way of saying it, Mike. I'll say what I think maybe you were implying didn't want to say. Half this cast, actually, maybe not half. There's a significant portion of this cast that actually actively annoys me watching their videos. And
yeah,
I mean, I have the word yuck. Nah, man. No. Like I have all these things written on my notes. Cringe. So yeah.
Is this you dislike them more than the BB Ken videos or no?
Okay. So I think this has the potential to be a good cast. When I say they make me cringe, it's like a personal cringe more than it is that I think they're casted terribly. I think this cast isn't that bad, but there's just a lot of personalities that I wouldn't survive this season. No.
Yeah, I can agree with that. A bit more than half the cast annoyed the fuck out of me and was just like, oh God, this is what I have to choose from? Like, wow. Not impressed. Gotta say, my initial reaction is not impressive.
I'll say they didn't super annoy me. I find it really hard to be annoyed by someone preseason. They have to be, like, in my opinion, really bad. And the people that you guys find annoying are probably the people that I'm gonna like think are hilarious and like. Probably ones I'm gonna draft. And then the people I'm very iffy on are probably just the people I find kind of boring. Like there were a few people I kept forgetting. Like I would try to come up with the cast in my head and that's being forgettable, I think, is the biggest sin.
Yeah, well, I did a random draft order. So, Mike, you will be picking first. Even though if you're picking who I projected you to pick in my first video, then I don't even know if you need to be number one to pick that person. But we will see. Fan Guy, you're number 2. Number 3, Aspen, you get 4, but the order will reverse, so you flip from number 1 to number 4. And anybody watching, Jay in the comments is going to be disappointed, but no Alex or Meg this season. So it's just us 4 drafting.
The OGs.
Yes, this is Survival 1 OGs.
This is the OGs.
All right. Well, we shall begin. Mike, you get first pick.
So, I really, really hate to prove Nick right. I really do. I really hate to prove Nick right. But I would kick myself if I didn't get Maria on my team. So I'm going to take Maria first.
Now, would you like to break down why? Is it because she's an older woman? Is it because she's from Michigan?
Look, okay. I mean, I liked a lot of what I've seen, and I liked her bio, but one thing in her bio pretty much locks me into picking you no matter for everything else. If you say you're going to play like Angelina Keeley from David versus Goliath, I'm sorry, but I'm going to root for you very hard because one of my favorite players, she's hilarious, and if she brings half the entertainment that she brought to that season, I will be happy to have her on my team.
I felt she was, when I first was watching the first few videos, she was very laid back, and I didn't know if that was going to necessarily be a good thing. She seems like someone who could struggle in a social game. Maybe I'm reading too much into that. And it's not even because of her age. She just came off like somebody that might struggle in a social game. And I also forgot what team she was on, but that was another reason why I thought that she could maybe struggle there. But in the end, I did end up liking her. I did like that she chose Taj as one of her favorite players as well, because that's not a name you hear often, and that's somebody who played a good game. She just needs to not pull a Taj and like buddy up to a duo.
Yeah, she's on Taku, I think is how you pronounce that, which has, I think, Jonathan, which is one of the better probably guys on the cast, like big guys. So not that that always matters pre-merge, but I don't think she's on the weakest tribe in my opinion.
Y'all got me looking up the tribes because I did not see that they had been divvied up. I did not make my ranks based on that.
I want to shout out Adrian Celeste in the comments, who in my first video gave a big old description of everything and everybody. So she helped me a lot in the comments.
I can write them their tribe divisions in the chat because I have them right in front of me. If that'll make it easier.
I found the page. I googled it. First thing that popped up showed me the tribes. So it's 3 tribes of 6. Okay. So this lady was not on the top of my list at all. She rubbed me wrong way when she said on her "Why should you win" video, and she's like, and I'm like, okay, if you can't tell me why you should win this game, you have no business being on this game.
You shouldn't win.
And then after about 10 seconds of and I don't know why I should win, she says, because my game is mine. Okay, that is not a good answer when you finally give one. You're going to win because your game is yours. Well said. I just can't get behind somebody like this. And I think I've mentally checked out with her after just seeing that.
So I will agree that video was maybe not great. But I mean, like, come on. What a dumb question. Like, if your plan is to just go in there and adapt to like what happens, which is like, I think most good people's strategy, what are you supposed to say? I'm going to win because I'm the best. Everyone's answer is just some variation of that. I mean,
you're right. The answers to that question in particular did suck by and large.
Yeah, but I'm not judging her just in that. I had the same thought because I had already had it in my head from the reading the bio, like, oh, I love her. And then I watched that video first and I'm like, ugh, but she's not so bad.
It does go into my negative for her, though. Like, I don't know. Like, if she makes a final tribal, can she really explain well her game? Do you really believe that?
So we're going from a minute answer after she lives on an island for 39 days.
Well, I'm just going for her. It's only 26, so maybe that helps. But I think I'm just going by all of her videos that she's not the best talker.
Yeah.
But speaking to people and speaking into a camera are two very different skills. Like, they really are. I mean, you can be very charming and stuff just sitting in front of a camera, or you can be as a plank of wood. But when you have someone else to play off of, you can be really engaging.
I'm trying to poke holes in your pick, but you come well prepared, Mike. It's a bold number 1, though. It is a bold number 1.
It's a bold number 1, but like, I would kick myself if she didn't come back to me, and I feel confident I can still get who I want. So
she gonna come back to you. Don't worry. Won't.
I think she might have. But we don't know that for sure.
But I don't want to take that risk. I want who I want. I'm not letting people.
All right. All
right, fat guy, you're up. Oh man, now y'all got me all teched out. Maybe I want to pick my number 2. No, I'm gonna go with Drea. She just was by far the most likable person for me. She's the only person who didn't give a bunch of bad answers. All of her answers were pretty good. And she just seems like somebody who's coming to play, as was my second pick, but I had to pick one of them. So yeah, I'm just gonna go with Drea. She just strikes me as a very strong candidate to win the whole thing right off top.
I liked her too. She came across strong, and she helped my negative for her when I was thinking she's just going to be a typical, workout person. But it seems like she's more well prepared than that, which I hope she is, but we'll see. She's also on a team that I think will do well for her.
Looking at the teams, I like that pick even more because I think she's on a weak tribe, but I think she's going to have a lot of control on that weak tribe.
I think so too.
Yeah, I think that's the weakest tribe, and I think this is going to follow. I don't know, maybe I read this somewhere, maybe I'm just crazy, but I think this is going to pretty closely follow last season's format. So whatever negatives from that format and whatever positives, but they didn't do a swap. So if you're on
Were there
a tribe,
positives in the last season?
well, I'm just being generous here. All right? If you're on a tribe like the tribe Uwa with Shan and Ricard, if that tribe gets decimated, like that happens literally last season, it doesn't bode well for most of the people in that tribe. If you come out of it strong, sure,
That's
like
true.
Shan and Ricard were both very likely to win the game if they had made the end, but they didn't. So if your tribe gets decimated in a 3-tribe season like this, usually not great.
That's a fair criticism of that pick for sure.
Just statistically, because if you have to go through 4 votes pre-merge, that's 4 chances you go with less shields every time. Like, it's just like playing the numbers, not great. Not even talking about like strategy at merge or whatever.
Aspen, you seemed upset when Fanguy chose Dre as that someone that was high on your list.
Yeah, honestly, I was just sitting here scrolling through the cast, and she is the one that stood out of most of her videos. So I definitely was gonna pick her first. Yeah, Fan got fucked me as usual.
Sniped.
Days did that to me on BB Can, unfortunately. Okay, it's my pick. I'm going to choose someone, even though I don't know how they will do on this team. The other person I want to take is on a weaker team. So I'm just going to go ahead and take the game bot herself, which is Chanel, who is a big org player herself. And yeah, I like her. But she's...
Was she the one that was on Sequester? Was she the...
No.
Okay.
This was the other person that I was debating between.
Yeah, of course, I was debating between the two black girls. Get out of here, bro. Gosh.
So I love this pick for you, Nick. I do. I love this pick. I think she's in it to win it. She seems like a gamer. She seems just ready to roll this season. So definitely her and Drea were my top 2 picks.
Sorry, Aspen. There's a black woman left.
I know, but I don't want her.
Any other thoughts on Chanel?
She seemed pretty smart, so I'm interested in how she'll do. But her and the one Fan got picked. What's her name? Drea. They very similar. They very similar black girls. The black white girls with the proper hoity-toity English, and so I think that they probably gonna have some
not hoity-toity.
Hoity-toity.
You're still my words now.
So I think they'll have a little bit of drama amongst themselves is who gonna be the better light-skinned, proper speaking person. But so I hope that they fight it out over that, and I hope they go at each other for y'all's sake.
I hope they don't go after each other, but I hope that Chanel doesn't overplay because I do feel like she might be one of those. If she's a game bot, like she comes off as, it's very possible.
I mean, she is. She wants to play like Kim Spradlin. I'm sorry, no one will ever play like Kim Spradlin because your cast is not going to be the cast of One World. So if you think you're going to just control the whole game, you're wrong, and it's not going to work.
But I have hope that because she's played so many orgs and I think one person as well, that maybe she knows not to just be a control freak.
We've met a lot of org people. Nick, you've met all of your org people. Do you really think any of us would do anything but flame out epically? And so I'm just sorry.
Not everybody.
I don't think orgs translate to the game very well.
I mean, that's true. But I think that I still think she's not going to just flame out just to flame out, though. I don't think she's going to come in and want to play exactly like Kim.
I think it's a testament to what Mike said. I don't think anyone can play like Kim anymore because the casts are so much more educated on the game, and generally there's a lot more super fan type players that aren't going to be so easily just led the way Kim just straight led the sheep that season. There aren't as many sheep to lead. So yeah, when people say they want to play like Kim, it also gives me kind of the cringe, just because it can't be done. And like if you're, nobody's going to mastermind that hard, but great pick. I think I love people that are just competitive, and you can tell that she's played the orgs and she's played the Survivor games and she wants to win, and that counts for a lot.
I mean, yes, but at the same time, who here doesn't want to win? They all won $1 million. They're all in it to win it, you know. And sometimes I think just like, I don't know, maybe I'm just anti super fan at the end of the day. But
Yeah, probably.
You're anti yourself.
yeah, I think I would be first boot 9 times out of 10. I really do. Like, if we take the elements out of the equation and everything, I just don't think I could get out of my own head. I really don't. Like, for $1 million, no way. Like, I get ultra competitive over nothing, $0. So imagine with $1 million on the line, it would be ugly.
All right, Aspen, you're up.
Well, since y'all took my both black girl options, I'm going out on a limb here, but the person I'm choosing reminds me of my favorite person I chose on my team last year, which was Xander. Shout out to Xander. If you're watching this, Xander, I love you.
Here comes your third place pick.
I'm already writing it in. There's only one character I think that fits that description.
And it is Jonathan. Yeah, he seems like he gonna do okay. He seems I like his southern charm. So but I'm worried about him. He's like, I'm gonna hide that I'm like physical. I'm like, how with that body, boy?
How?
So I don't know. We'll see how it works. But I mean, they didn't kick Xander off, and he was strong.
Yeah, I mean, I actually think this is a good pick. Unfortunately, I don't like him necessarily, but I do think it is a good pick.
See,
I think he's a little bit of a meathead, and the fact that he gave that answer that Aspen said, "What do you not want people to know? I don't want people to know that I'm a meathead." Basically, is what he said. But like, bro, you're jacked. Like, you're straight jacked. You have no chance at hiding that from the rest of this cast. That being said, I don't hate the pick because I do think he does have that southern charm. And if he isn't, it's all going to be how imposing and how aggressive he is with people will determine his longevity in the game. If he comes off like the alpha meathead right off top, I think with this cast, that is not going to bode well. But if he turns it back and just kind of plays the charm role, the sky's the limit.
I don't hate this pick. ... If the game was to pick highest average placement for your team, but it's not, the game we play is to pick the winner. And bro, this guy's not winning. I'm sorry. His best case scenario, in my honest opinion, is Xander or Dean Island Idols, Xander from last season. That's his best case scenario, in my opinion. His worst and most likely case scenario, or I guess most average scenario, is like Sebastian from Ghost Island. Someone who's like, yeah, I'm going to provide for the tribe, be like Ozzy. And then they just really do nothing. I don't know. Maybe you'll prove me wrong. I don't think he's dumb. I don't think he's a meathead. I just don't think he's going to win the game. Because
what's the biggest reason you don't think he's going to win?
Because I just feel like he has a really big uphill battle to get past the merge, like post-merge. I feel like he has a big uphill battle to be anything but targeted for being big and strong. And if he gets the end, we have repeatedly seen in modern times, modern Survivor meta, people like him just aren't getting respect at the end. They'll like let's say how he probably does it is most likely from advantages or an idol. And we saw how that worked with Xander, with his idol. It didn't. It got him to the end because nobody respected him like by late merge because he didn't have his allies as back at the early merge. He just protected himself with his idol and the threat of it. And it ended up backfiring on him in the end because he had no respect. That's the kind of game that someone who is a big physical threat at the merge has to play nowadays, and it doesn't win games anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I don't completely disagree.
Gosh.
I do think he's actually going to go far, but yeah, is he going to win? I don't know. I guess we'll see. Fan guy, we've discussed this person before. He's friends with Lex Luger, the wrestler. Do you think that Jonathan could be the total package in this game? You're on mute. You're on mute, fat guy.
No, I do think he's a meathead, and the fact that he's he's friends with Lex Luger actually makes me even more confident in that assertion. Had he not, had his answer to "What do you want to hide" not been what it was, I wouldn't have jumped on the meathead, train. But when you give that kind of dumb answer to that question, looking like you do, it tells me that you aren't the sharpest tool in the shed, or you lack self-awareness completely. One of the two.
I think it's the
Aspen,
latter.
any final thoughts?
Either one of those is bad in Survivor.
Yeah, you're right, but I think he'll make it work. I think he's gonna get through it. He from Alabama, like he a Bama boy, so he gonna be and he like do beach stuff, so like he gonna be good at that. He gonna be out there fishing and shit or whatever. And
Are you going to
so
be as Jonathan proud as you were Xander proud last season?
if he make me proud,
Okay.
One of his pet
He's
peeves. His pet peeve is wearing shirts.
Yeah, I talked about in the last bit. It's crazy. He's a bit much. He is a bit much.
or is he just the right amount? We'll see.
We will
Yeah,
see.
some people turn it on for these interviews, and then we've seen that,
that's
and we
true.
see that with the Big Brother Canada thing going on right now. Some people act a certain way to get cast, and then they get in the house, and you don't see what's what the big deal is.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Aspen, well, it's your turn again. So who are you following up Jonathan with?
I wasn't even ready for that. Okay.
So prepared.
Oh, so prepared. You know what? Okay, no, I'm gonna go with no, not that one. Where's the other little? It's two of them that kind of look alike. They kind of like gay and like twinkish. Am I allowed to say that? Is that that's that?
I'll allow it. I'll allow it.
Okay, thanks. I mean, that's what I was asking. I was asking you, Mike. Okay, so I'm gonna choose what's his name? Hajin? I don't know. You know what I'm talking about?
Hi.
Hi.
I think it's just hi.
Hi. Yeah.
Who does
I
he
hope
look like in this cast? I'm not.
Romeo, I'm assuming.
I don't see that, but
Yeah. He does. What? No, both of them like foreign and skinny and gay. Same thing.
So why are you picking this guy? It's honestly
Well,
another good pick, even though you're not prepared. I like the pick.
exactly. See, that's what happened when you don't be prepared.
Just gut
So
instincts.
I'm picking him one because he from Atlanta, so I gotta go with my ATL roots, and then he also is from Vietnamese, which it's my favorite kind of food. So like Atlanta Vietnamese. I don't know if this is sounding bad right now or not, but
I mean, you have topped Mike for just picking older women, for this being your reasoning.
see. So yeah, he's smart, and like he uses public transportation, which that's a special type of person right there. So
It is hard to do. And yes,
I
it's
like
on high.
I like Hi, man. Hi was one of the 6 people I did like on this cast. I don't know. He seemed likable. That's all I really got from him. But he does seem like someone who's going to get along with maybe a lot of different types of people.
yeah, I could see him being what's Shan's boyfriend name from last season? How am I forgetting this right now?
Who?
Ricard.
Oh, Ricard.
Yeah, he kind of remind me of him a little bit.
are we still on high?
Yeah.
All right, I'll say this: High would have been my pick if it had got back to me. I really like High. I think he's gonna go. He's gonna do good. I think he's gonna do good. So good pick, Aspen. Again, props this time. I won't tear this pick down because I actually think this is a a good one.
Yeah.
But yeah, no.
He says he likes strong women, so I'm hoping that means he's going to align with Chanel on his team. That's all I care about with Hyde now, that he's not on my team. All right. It is. Oh, shit. It's my turn. This is tough. I need to pick somebody who is social because that's what usually works for me. But I don't like any of these social players, to be honest.
Yeah.
I guess I will go ahead and choose. It's not even a social player. Actually, maybe a little. I'll go ahead and choose Tori. I guess.
You
I don't
always
like
choose the like pretty like dumb blonde girls. You always do that.
Yes,
Who?
that's what got him the win last season. Erica.
Erica
Pretty
was
blonde
not
girl.
not blonde or pretty.
Well,
was
you
pretty.
did pick.
She does a
You
blonde.
picked Sydney. You picked Sydney
Man,
last time.
Win for Erica.
That was
like
Meg.
that. Ooh.
That was big.
So I find this pick identical to Erica because this chick annoys the ever living shit out of me watching her intro videos. She talks more than she talks so much. Like her little snippet of stuff is like a whole box where everyone else's is like a little bitty thing.
Yeah.
Like, and I think that's going to rub people the wrong way. She's way overboard with the whole therapist thing. Like, I'm a therapist. Like, what? Okay, we get it. That's what
It
you do.
worked for Erica, and it worked for Tori in Sequester. So her social game got her far. She didn't win, but it did work.
If she's as good as she's claiming to be with this whole one-on-one stuff, then yes. But she just annoyed me. I'll just leave it at that. She
annoyed me too, honestly. I don't like her, but
Yeah, I especially didn't like her being like, I'm a therapist, but I'm not gonna tell them that I'm being a therapist to them out there. Like, girl, we all know when somebody is reading us. I mean, I don't know. She's like, yeah, I have to get strangers to tell me about their whole lives. I'm like, I would never tell you nothing. I probably wouldn't even talk to you. But
you're not wrong.
She's one of those people. I mean, she says this or she seems like one of these people. I should always say because I don't obviously know these people. But she's like, yeah, I look so normal, but I'm actually weird. Like, guys, I read Harry Potter. Like, that's not that out there. It's not really. Like, okay, you wrote a short story in sci-fi and you played some Quidditch games after reading Harry Potter. Like, okay, you're a little weird, but people who always go on and on about how weird they are when they're really not that weird, something about that annoys me. So I don't know what it is, but that annoyed me.
She was weird for a pageant girl because that's what she's used to being around. Well, that's what she is. She's a pageant girl.
I know, but did you hear her say it's not called
weird.
pageants? It's called competition.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I think she's weird. I think she thinks she's weird based on what she's surrounded by because it's a bunch of likely basic biatches. But so I think comparatively speaking to them, she's weird. But in the grand scheme of life, she's probably not that weird. I think this is a lot of upside and a lot of downside pick. This is one of them that I think could win, which is what we're trying to do, but also could be an early boot due to just sheer annoyance.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree. I think she is annoying, but I'm hoping it translates similar to Erica.
That's exactly how we felt about Erica.
All right, it is your turn, Vanguard.
This is a pick similar to your pick, Nick. This is just a person that I think is coming to play, and they're actually who I had ranked number 3, so they made it all the way back to me, and that was Lindsay. She knows how to make fire. Let's go.
It's a good pick. I considered her instead of Tori, but they're very similar.
If you're telling me you've prepared that hard to where you know how to make fire, okay, I'm going to give you points for preparedness, and that shows me that you're, again, I know, Mike, like everybody wants to win it, but like, you're taking the extra effort, and I can appreciate that.
But she is a lot similar to Tori, though. So
yes, I agree. That's why I even prefaced it with that. She is also somewhat annoying. She didn't annoy me to the level that Tori did, though.
So something I learned about her, fun fact, she was supposed to be on last season in the place of Tiffany. And Tiffany was a last-minute alternate for Lindsay. I don't know what came up for her, but and just because of that, maybe I'm drawing parallels between them. But
they're very similar.
Yeah, and I do like Lindsay a lot, and probably would have picked her soon. I don't know about my next 2 picks though. So
Any other thoughts on Lindsay?
Wait, is she the one who said she was gonna tell people she was like a caregiver? Was that her? Or no?
It was either her or Tori. I don't know which one.
I mean, she played tackle football.
It was
so,
Tori.
like,
The caregiver was Tori.
I'm giving Lindsay a lot of points for playing tackle football. Like that's pretty. I think that's the kind of physicality that like something like this kind of is more geared towards, because you're running through obstacle courses and you're hitting things and stuff like that, more so than just like the show muscle type of physicality. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
This says flag football, Mike, not tackle. So just saying.
I'm looking at her Entertainment Weekly bio, and it says, "I played tackle football. My teammates would literally hit me harder than everyone else because I was a girl." So, I mean, that seems contact to me. That's literally, I'm reading it right from Entertainment Weekly, but that's, so I don't know where you're reading flag football, but
No, I'm reading from Entertainment Weekly.
Well, that's her favorite hobby, but go down to what is something we never knew from looking at you. Go down to what is something we never knew from looking at you.
And Nick just got sponsored by Entertainment Weekly. Thanks, y'all.
Let's go.
Hey, we weren't supposed to say it was sponsorship. You're supposed to just slide it in there real natural. Like.
Yeah.
All right, Mike, you right. I guess.
I think Lindsay's a good pick. This
She's
could
got a
be
spunk. She's spunky.
This is similar to your pick in DB Ken with what's his name? I'm drawing a blank right now.
Moose?
No, the guy you got late. Herman.
Oh, yeah, Herman.
It's not as late, but there's only 4 picks this time. All right, Mike.
All right, so this is tough because I get two folks, and then I'm stuck with one of the last like 3 people. So I have to think about this long and hard, how to round out my team. So
who was first?
My first, because I do want to split my tribes a little bit. I'm gonna go for Daniel, the law clerk, for my first pick of the little round snake thing.
Yeah, that was my next pick.
It's another good pick. I think he has the. I think he's gonna be snaky. This is the person that reminds me of Ricard the most.
I can see that,
which is a good thing if he doesn't, become a threat too soon.
I mean, he beat cancer, which got to be one of the hardest things anyone can do in their entire life. So I'm sure Survivor is nothing compared to that. So that's a plus. It's someone I think will be able to handle the elements.
Yeah, I love this pick, Mike. I think this is a great pick. This guy, he seems like a triple threat. I mean, he may not be physically one of the strongest competitors, but he seems to have it everywhere else. He's got a likable personality. He's got a good story. Seems to be a smart cat. Just seems to be like a well-rounded player who's versed and knowledgeable about the game. So I think this is a great pick.
Yeah, and I mean, it said he wants to play like Fabio. Like, if you're gonna say you want to play like a winner, I think you need to pick a winner like Fabio, not a winner like Boston Rob or Kim Spradlin. So I give him points for that. He also does mention Yule and Todd, but I think those are still more reasonable than someone like that. And it shows a deeper knowledge of Survivor when you're naming those people as opposed to Parvati, Kelly Wentworth, Tony, Boston Rob, Kim Spradlin, Sandra. Yeah.
Don't you bring Sandra into this. Don't you do it.
Well, I'm just saying people want to say they want to play like her.
Yeah.
And they're wrong. You're not going to play like Sandra. No one plays like Sandra because I think most people fundamentally misunderstand her game. But that's not important to right now. So
all hail the queen. Queen Sandra all day, baby.
Hard agree.
Yeah, Daniel's a good pick. I like it. This is more like a number 1 pick.
And guess what? I still got him, and I still got everything I want. So
you're not wrong.
It's looking good.
It's your turn again.
I don't like
go
him.
ahead,
I can just throw that out there. I don't like him. He's too much of a cornball for me. I don't know. He's just not my type.
Yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily like him yet, but I think he's gonna be a good player.
I think he's gonna be weird. I don't think he's gonna get along with people.
You think his social game is gonna be like awkward? I
Yes,
could see
because
that
he's
too,
being
honestly.
awkward. Yeah.
He's giving not as over the top fan guy as that guy from BB Can, but similar vibes. Who's currently doing good though.
So here's
Yeah,
the
I feel kind of like a little bit of Cochran from this guy. Like he just is kind of like a little dorky dude, but not as dorky as Cochran. Like, just like a
Yeah,
tamer version.
I feel like Cochran pulled it off better than this dude though. Like
You haven't even seen this guy play though. That's the whole thing.
That's-
And you've seen 2
that's
seasons of
true.
Cochran. And the first season wasn't great. But this guy's big thing from what? It wasn't. He didn't do very great. I'm just talking about placement. I'm not talking entertainment value. But
he doesn't bring the entertainment value.
a big thing
Go
for
on.
this guy is threat level management. And I just don't see him being pegged as a big threat for a while, because the important thing in a game like this is you don't need to be the biggest threat at the merge, at the start, at the final 7. You need to be the biggest threat at the final 3. So if you can pull that off, that's a recipe for success.
I think he also has the advantage of starting on a tribe that has such a clear first vote off that everyone else on that tribe has a leg up, in my opinion.
who's the clear first vote?
Who's the clear first vote out?
On Daniel's tribe, Mike.
Yeah.
Mike's getting voted off first.
Maybe I could see it.
From that tribe.
Probably
100%.
not.
It's going to happen. Book it.
Book it. Write it down.
So now, because I'm trying to spread out my picks, there's someone else I would really like on that tribe, but I'm going to stick to my guns and pick at least one person from every tribe that I actually like. So my next pick between 2 of them, they're roughly the same spot, and I'm gonna go with Roxroy, the stay-at-home dad.
Interesting.
Right?
That's my next pick.
I don't know what to take from this guy, honestly. I don't know what to expect at all.
I concur. This guy was he was a mixed bag on his videos, and he said stuff that kind of contradicted each other. And so I don't really know what to make of him. Not contradicted in a bad way, but he seemed like he wanted to prove himself with his outdoors ability. He spoke highly of his outdoor type abilities, but then he also spoke that he was kind of a nerd. And everyone called him like a dork growing up. So if he's that well balanced and he covers all those spectrums, he could have a great shot. But I could also see this player falling flat on his face. This guy for me has big upside, big low side potential as well.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I leaned towards well-rounded with lots of life experience because he's 44. He's not a spring chicken by any means. And I think people like that can connect with a lot of different people better than someone who's only had a few life experiences and is on the younger side. And at the end of the day, the game boils down to connecting with people, I think. Especially in a season like this where the difference between going home and not going home can be like 2 or 3 votes because it's a tribe of 6. It's
Actually, I don't know if this season is similar to last season, if that really matters, because there's so much randomness with twists that it's a little.
Yeah, but at that point, if there's so much randomness with twists, at least go with people you think can connect with people and win a jury over if they make the end. So that's what I think. Like, he has a good story. He grew up in a bad area, according to his bio. He likes watching golf, so he has the patience to live through, I presume, anything if you can sit through that sport and not fall asleep. So yeah, I don't know.
All right, fan guy.
Yeah, it's funny he picked that guy because I'm gonna piggyback on exactly a lot of his argument right there about life experience and likability, and I'm gonna take my Houston guy Jackson. I think this is a version of Roxroy, but he seems more. I don't know. He just seems in his videos more likable for me. Like he doesn't seem as scattered. Like I have a more clear vision of what Jackson is about than what I do about Roxroy, though I do find them to be very similar players. And so, yeah, I will just use all of Mike's arguments there. Life experience. This guy just seems like he's a likable cat. Old, kind of reminds me of the rancher from last season, Brad, but a little less weird, like a little more down to earth and relatable to people. And I think that bodes well sometimes. I could see this guy going really far.
He was my next pick, honestly. I think his social game is going to be good. I do think if anybody has Southern charm, it's Jackson. So I think that's going to help him.
I obviously liked Roxroy about the same, honestly, because if I wasn't trying to split it across tribes, good chance I might have taken Jackson here, but I did want at least one person, like I said. So I can totally see exactly why you think that, because I had a similar line of thoughts. And I'll say this, I never forgot that Jackson was in this cast after my first dive into it, unlike some people that haven't even been picked yet and some who have. That's, if you leave an impression, that's often a good thing, as long as it's not a negative impression, which I didn't get. Seems like a likable guy.
Yes, and this is the second trans player to play Survivor. So
I just was looking at that. I just read that he used to be a girl, and I'm like, wait. And honestly, I feel weird about it, because Survivor always makes shit weird sometimes with that whole thing with fucking Zeke. That shit was ridiculous.
Yeah, that was awkward as hell.
It was awkward, and it was uncalled for, and it makes people feel uncomfortable, especially fucking when you already having a hard time trying to deal with being yourself, and then Survivor's like, I know, but how do you feel about you used to be a girl, and are people gonna say something about that? Or I don't know, that shit is. But I mean, I feel like they are going to do a good job. I feel like sometimes people have a certain amount of sympathy for trans people if the cast ain't all homophobic, which sometimes they are, but I don't know.
I feel like sometimes there's a fear that Survivor casts things just to pat themselves on the back and be like, we're so progressive. We cast X amount of Z.
That's what last season was dedicated to.
I actually think Jackson's likable, seems interested in the game. And so, I feel pretty fine about it. And he is the first openly trans person to play Survivor. Zeke played, but was not openly trans at the time of playing the season. So it is the first time that Survivor has that, which is good. I think that is a good thing in general. Representation does matter. So good.
Yeah.
Good on Survivor. Let's just not make it like Jeff giving a monologue about it, and we'll be good.
That's it.
All right. My next pick is probably not a good pick. The only reason I'm going to pick him is because it's similar to my pick last season that won. I picked Erica because I thought Erica was going to stir the pot a lot and maybe burn out. And I'm pretty sure this guy is going to stir the pot a lot and probably burn out. But maybe he pulls an Erica and wins, even though Erica didn't do that. But I'm going to choose Omar.
I knew you was going to say that.
Why? Because he's messy already and overconfident and kind of annoying.
Why do you like Canadians so much?
It works.
Are you hoping for back-to-back Canadian winners?
Yes.
Absolutely not.
Why not?
Survivor is not going to have that happen. It's like I thought about
Survivor cares about Canadians winning.
Nah,
I don't think they do.
No, but they it's gonna make everybody who's like America, stop watching Survivor.
I mean, they probably already did last season. They all stopped watching when they dropped guys.
Exactly.
Have you looked at Twitter ever since that happened? They still haven't shut up about it. So they're all done watching already. So we don't got to worry about that.
True. Okay.
Omar did, he comes from a rough background. He built himself up to be successful. So I think I can't count him out completely, even though I do think he's going to be a lot to handle in this game.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that assessment completely. This guy, you like those high. I mean, I get it because like Mike said, we're picking for a winner. This guy is another one with tremendous upside and tremendous early vote out potential.
Yes.
He made me cringe at one of his answers when he said, "Why should you win?" And he said, I should win because I'm the biggest fan."
Yeah.
I don't understand. And it really does annoy me, some of these people's answers, because I don't feel like these people should be cast if you're giving answers like this. I just don't. And
True.
it shows me, I hate being that just negative Nancy about it, but it shows me a lack of, I don't know, a lot. It shows me a lack of, like, you shouldn't be on a freaking TV show if you can't, I don't know. This guy does seem likable though. If he finds his niche, he can, I see him as the Ricard type for sure. And I could see him just like snaking his way through this game if he does it right.
So I'll say this, Fanga, is I completely understand the frustration with a lot of these people in the casting and the pregame press and casting stuff. Getting cast on Survivor and being someone who is probably well suited to play the game of Survivor, two completely different skills. And they often don't overlap at all because what Survivor wants is a good TV product. What, most of the people who would excel at the game of Survivor have probably never heard of Survivor. They're probably just like, because a lot of times that's what does well for people in this game is when they don't get too in their own heads about it. And they just kind of be a likable person and be the last person at the end who everyone still likes. And that's not a skill that translates well to TV. When they try and show games like that, it doesn't work. Or they just ignore and don't show them at all. But yeah, so I just think answers like that are annoying. Yeah. And people you're like, why is this person on the show? But they're looking for a different thing in who they're casting than we're looking for as like, are they a good Survivor player? So, yeah.
I love that. Yeah, makes sense. I wish it would align more. I wish they would look a little bit more for people that are going to play the game well. Is probably how I should articulate that.
Any final thoughts on Omar?
I like him, and I actually agree with a lot of the reasons you took him, as I think he's going to stir the pot a lot. But I see him more as a Vochi. I've already forgotten how to say that from last season. He reminds me so much of him. Medical profession, a lot of that same type, like A personality shining through. I don't know. That's just kind of where I see it going. But
I can see it. All right, Aspen, you're back up.
Okay, I have keep scrolling through this goddamn list and trying to find something about somebody that
There's two good picks left, I think.
And neither of them will get to me.
So wait, Mike, you was keeping us updated on who is taking, and I'm having a hard time now because you ain't updated the list.
It kicked me out, so I lost the list.
You want to know who's left, Aspen?
Yeah.
It's Mike, Romeo, Jenny, Marianne, Lydia, Swathi, and Zach.
There's 3 potential good picks left.
Okay. I need to get some bitches on my team. Hold up. Okay.
I mean, last season I took only women, and this season I think I have like mostly guys right now. So
okay, so I'm not that confident about picking her, but we'll see. I'm gonna just what'd you call her, Swathi?
Swathi,
Swathi,
the Ivy League student.
Yeah, the 19-year-old.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry.
She's one of my absolute favorites, but I don't think she's gonna go far.
No, I don't either. I mean, maybe she can lie about her age enough. That somebody did that before, didn't they? Somebody was like, "No, I'm just gonna tell him I'm 20."
Well, she did say she's gonna lie and say she's 20.
Ooh, 1 year difference.
I don't think she can lie that much though. She can't say, "Hey, I'm 30."
Is she the youngest?
Yeah.
Yes, on this cast.
Because I felt like Marianne looks 12, so I thought she was the youngest.
Marianne, who is Marianne?
The one black woman left.
Wow, she's 24? Holy hell, she looks half that age. Literally. Anyway, sorry.
She looks 12.
She does look 12.
No.
Why are you picking Swathi, Aspen? Or whatever, however you pronounce it.
because I gotta have a person of color on my team. And because honestly, she really is smart. But I didn't like that she said she was gonna say she's like, I'm not gonna say Yale. I'm not gonna say Harvard. I'm gonna say like Yale. And I'm like, girl, say you went to community college and be quiet. Like,
True.
And most people aren't going to make a reasonable distinction between those two things. If you tell me you're
no.
from Yale, I'm going to think, wow, you're smart. Or at least you worked hard in school. If you tell me you're from Harvard, I'm going to think the exact same thing.
Agreed. So, I'm hoping she can pull it off, but honestly, she was the best out of the POCs left, so I don't know.
Why do you dislike Marianne so much? I mean, seemingly.
Yeah, and it's not that I don't dislike her, it's more that like I just don't see her getting along well with everybody else. Especially because like I gotta be careful. This going on YouTube.
Let me edit this.
We just hear a beep for like 5 minutes, and we're all just sitting there like,
No, okay, here. All right, so I'll tell you. Honestly, she gonna have a harder time than the other black girls. She just because like number one, she from Canada. Number two, she is darker than the other black girls, which I know y'all probably don't understand, but
It's a
like
fair point.
so like she gonna have a hard time, and I'm worried about her being able to. I feel like she'll do good because she knows how to articulate her words, and she ain't dumb, But I just I don't got high hopes for her. Yeah.
Well, we'll get back to her if anybody picks her. But any other thoughts on Swati or Swati?
I'm sorry, but I just automatically discount anyone like my age or like younger. Well, I guess I'm getting older now, but like anyone like 20 or younger, it's like, I'm sorry, you just don't have the life experiences to win the game of Survivor. Like I look at myself 2 whole years ago, and I'm like, oh my god, like you weren't half as smart or whatever as you thought you were, and
That's true, but you didn't
everyone-
go to Harvard though either, though. So
No, I did not go to Harvard. But yeah, I can't ever. I mean, it'll happen someday. Just by law of averages, they're just gonna keep casting younger and younger. But it's gonna be a long time before anyone like 20 or younger wins. Period, in my opinion.
That's a really good point. I couldn't agree with that more. It's that they have a hard time. I think if they make the end, the younger people have a harder time articulating their case because I think the life experience comes in a lot with a lot of that. And though I
don't think she would have a hard time doing that. Though.
I do think she has a lot of life experience for her age, being in the military and going to such a prestigious university. I do think she has some different life experiences than a lot of people. But yeah, I'm with you guys. I'm not sure, how Berkeley is that much like better than Harvard to say. Like it. I mean, people are still going to get the same kind of vibe. I guess of what is left, it's one of my preferred people that was left to pick. So I don't think it's a bad pick given what we had left to pick with.
Yeah, she was one of my favorites, but her age did keep me from picking her as well. But I would love for her to prove us wrong.
Exactly. She will.
All right, to speed this along, our final 4 picks. Aspen, you're up again. And then 2 people will be left unpicked.
Oh,
this is your last pick.
Oh. So, and I got Lydia, Marianne, Romeo, and who?
Mike, Jenny, Zach.
Mike and Zach.
Damn. All right. God. Okay. I'm gonna pick Lydia because I need a basic white girl on my team. She's very basic.
And she is the most basic, I think.
Yeah. And she seems like she gonna play the basic white girl role, and that might get her somewhere. So
on paper, she was one of my least favorite, but I thought she was better in interviews. So I think maybe her social game will be better than it seems.
Yeah, she doesn't annoy me the way like Sydney did from last season. Like she doesn't seem that basic.
No.
Like she's an actor. You could tell she's like a theater kid probably. And they're kind of strange, but she was my favorite person that was left. So I mean, I thought of who was left. That's a good pick. I think she potentially has the social skills to navigate this.
I would have taken her if she got to me. So I echo that sentiment.
Okay. Oh, I just read she wanted to play like Suri. That was heartbreaking. Okay.
Oh, I forget that you don't like Suri for reasons that make no sense.
I will never understand that as long as I live. I'm sorry. She's
Mike
great.
will not let me leave that down.
I don't like when people say they want to play like Suri for a different reason, because you're not Suri. You can't play like Suri. She's one of the all-time greats to ever play this game. I think it's totally reasonable to play like a lot of Survivor players, but it's hard to be as likable and smart and naturally gifted to the game as Suri is, in my opinion.
All right, I'm going to move along because time issues. But there's honestly 3 people left that I would pick, so it's hard. I'm going to go ahead and pick I'm going to pick Zach, I guess.
I thought for sure he was going to go unpicked, but okay. I guess, are you just going for high upside, not to put like words in your mouth?
Most of my picks have been, yes.
Okay.
Okay, so I actually, look, something y'all may not know about me real quick is that I am a national speech and debate champion. A lot of people don't know that about me. I have many state titles, and I actually have national titles. This kid is not on my level. Like, and y'all have played with me, and I'm just telling you, this kid, he has a couple of rinky-dink wins in some small events. This kid is not ready for the big time. However, my point is that if he makes it to a final tribal, because Nick is probably the only person who sees this because he sees my confessionals where I'm like, I don't care who I get to the end with because I'm going to out-talk him. And I feel like this kid has that potential. If he gets to the end and he is a decent debater, sky's the limit.
He definitely has potential as a player. And I think he has potential to get far, but he's not my favorite. But he's one of the 3 left that I could see winning.
He has final speech potential through the roof.
I just don't think a player like him's going to get to the end. Because biggest upside is like someone, like thinking someone like Adam Klein. And Adam Klein still like had an uphill battle in his season. Like Adam Klein played a really, really well game in his season. That's who Zach reminds me a lot of. And Adam is one of my favorite winners and players. I really like him, but I feel like Zach is just like a weaker version, a watered down version. I mean, it's hard to.
He's a watered down version.
It's hard to compare everyone to a Survivor, like former Survivor player, and just say they're worse, having never seen them play. Because I'm obviously not going to say he's better than one of my. But like, I could actually see myself walking away from the season thinking Zach is like one of my favorites, because I actually really like him, but I just think he's too young again, or he acts too young as well. Like he is the same age as me again, but I think I'm too young to be in on Survivor and win Survivor. So I think he is too, 22, but he acts, I don't want to say immature because it's not immature, but it's like energetic, and people think of energetic as younger. Like that's what people think. So
just a little Anthony out here, huh?
Maybe not that young seeming and that energetic.
All right, fan guy, it's your final pick.
This is strictly because of the tribe they're on. I think they're going to gel with more people on that tribe than they're not. And that is, I'm going to take Romeo, even though he's scared to be there, which annoyed the hell out of me that he was scared to be there. I just really don't like the 3 people other than him that are left. And so, yeah, I think he's possibly on a tribe where Zach and Tori are going to be 2 easy outs. And so I think just for that alone, it's the only reason I have to pick him. I don't like much about
him. It's fair. I do agree with you. Like I said in my first video, if he's on a team I think he could gel with, he has potential, and he is. So there's that.
I'm with fan guys. Don't say you scared to be here because you need to take your ass home.
But he also did say he hopes to be underestimated, and that's always a good thing in my opinion.
Okay, that's fair.
Lesser of the evils for me. Simple as that.
I like that he's a pageant coach, and there's like a pageant girl on his team, or
I
a
didn't think
former
about
pageant
that.
girl. So points to him, I guess. I don't know. I feel very lukewarm on him overall, honestly.
All right, Mike. Well, you have to choose between Mike, Jenny, or Marianne. 2 of these players will not get chosen. The comment section can choose one of them or both of them if you wish to have them on your team in the comment section. Because I actually do think 2 of them have potential to win and one of them not so much.
Bro, really, genuinely, like, I'm happy with all 3 of these still being left for me. Honestly, you guys made it a little harder than I thought. So, do I go with my least likely to win of the 3, but who I think's on the best tribe, or do I go with one of the 2 from the other tribe? Like, I think Taku is maybe the strongest tribe, like challenge wise. I'm gonna go with Jenny. I can't believe Jenny's still here, and that
Me either, honestly.
I think rounds my team out pretty well. Again, I'm just gonna sound like a broken record, but like life experience, she just has it, and that's just an X factor that you can't fake. You can fake pretty much everything else, but you can't fake life experience and wisdom, in my opinion.
She's too full of herself for me. I didn't like how she struck me as like the Tashawn or Jed, whichever one of them kept saying he was nice on big.
It was Tashawn, but Tashawn won.
Tashawn did win, but she just seems like like she praises herself for being this and she praises herself for being that. And like I don't see the charisma in her. Like she's like, I'm so charismatic. Well, I'm not getting that watching your video. I'm so this. Well, I'm not getting that watching your video. So for me, that's why I didn't like her. I do agree. I almost took her. She was another person I was going to take late, but for life experience. But I just couldn't get past the fact that she's almost borderline conceited in ways that I don't see. Okay.
I'm just going to defend her by saying the same thing I said earlier, is just talking to a camera and talking to people you're going to be playing a game of Survivor with, 2 very different skills.
I think she has the potential to. If her big ego is true and she can like get info from people as easy as she says she can, then that's a huge thing to have in a game like this.
I just feel like she has more winner upside than the other 2 people who were left for me.
She does.
I definitely think she has much more potential to just be so. I could totally see her coming across as conceited to her tribe, because like wisdom is one thing, but if you're trying to be like my way or the highway all the time, because you feel like you know more and stuff. But I think having Mike on that tribe is also going to help balance that out, because Mike also one of those life experience type guys, for sure. And maybe too much is why I didn't end up picking him.
Well, any thoughts on Mike or Marianne who don't get chosen?
Mike's
I almost chose Marianne instead of Zach.
Y'all was just giving me such a hard time for not taking Marianne, and then take Marianne.
I thought about it. For me, it was like Jenny, Marianne, Mike, and I don't think Mike's gonna be first boot. For the record, I don't. I actually think like Lydia is most likely to go first from this tribe, personally. But Mike is 58 and he's a retired firefighter, and no one is letting a 58-year-old retired firefighter get to final tribal. If you do, I guess you just really want to lose $1 million, in my opinion. And Jeremy has won 2 recently for a firefighter to win for a long time. I'm sorry, no one's gonna let a firefighter get to the end, because that's like, no one hates firefighters. It's just a fact. If you do, why do you hate firefighters? Okay.
Because there's a player on Big Brother Canada right now that's a firefighter, and he's the biggest douchebag in the world.
So
there's bigger douchebags than him on Big Brother Canada.
Yeah, and I've had a fireman try to steal my girl before. Firemen are all about Tang. They don't care. Firemen have that job because women like it.
Okay,
Interesting.
interesting fact I did learn from my fancy criminal justice degree is a lot of arsonists are firefighters because they really like feeling like a hero. Like they'll go set a fire and they'll go save people from the fire because they love the rush of being a hero. But
Alpha male type. I'm telling you, they like the women.
Any other thoughts on Mary Ann? I think she has a shot to win because if she's as strategic as she says she is, and it goes with her social game that I think is going to be good, that's always a potential to win. But her tribe is her downside for me.
yeah. I actually think she has the strongest tribe. Why do you think it's a downside? Do you not?
I
think
just
that's
don't
the
know
strongest?
if it's probably one of the strongest. I just know is she really going to fit in with that tribe?
I could see it. I don't know. I think she has more winner upside than like Mike and Jonathan for sure. But I think she is 24, but I just keep thinking she's younger than she is. Like, and I keep, how I feel. I hate young people. I guess, but
I think I checked out for her for the same reason, Mike. I legitimately thought she was 12, and I almost just couldn't even process anything she was saying. I was like, how young is she? She's so young.
Maybe when she says she's 24, her tribe's gonna go, I like 24. Really? You couldn't have said 22. But I think this line from here is really funny. Is I believe I will win Survivor because I'm a social person, and Survivor is a numbers game. Well, is it a social game or is it a numbers game? And I get you have to be social to get numbers, but like
I think it makes sense.
It kind of makes sense, but it's either a social game or it's a strategy numbers game.
Well, if anybody in the comments calls first dibs on Mike or Marianne, well, you can only choose one, then you will have them on your team for this season. That will be all for our draft tonight. Survivor airs Wednesday. We will return Thursday with our first rankings of the season.
We're gonna roast these people, I'm sure.
Yeah, we already are.
Yep.